Hello, I came upon a Facebook post by one gentleman called Jide Onwa or something like that. He's an Igbo chap, not a friend, but I see his work on social media. The summary of what he had to say was that the Yoruba people are essentially the only group of Nigerians that their films gain any kind of traction in the world. I congratulate the Yorubas. I don't begrudge them their success, but I will be happy too if Igbo filmmakers earn the same accolade and make the same money, because they would their success will filter into the society. If it is money, it will get back into the Igbo community, and the Igbos that are suffering will benefit. So I decided to make a post about it, and I explained some of the reasons why the Yoruba filmmakers will get the attention of the world, and the Igbo filmmakers and the Hausa Fulani filmmakers will not get the attention of the world. The Yorubas tell their own stories, because the Yoruba people are of the major ethnic groups in Nigeria. When we say major, we mean the large ethnic groups. They are three in number: the Hausa Fulani, the Igbos, and the Yoruba. The Yorubas are the most enlightened culturally and religiously. I don't know whether it is by chance or by design, but the Yoruba religion and Christianity and Islam are not too different. I repeat what I said. The Yoruba religion, presently the Yorubas call it Odu, Ifa, and Islam and Christianity are not too different. They have a lot of commonalities. But where the Yoruba has to be lauded, commended, is that he has not destroyed what he inherited. Put a Yoruba in Christianity, he respects the Yoruba religion more than if he did not become a Christian. And it's easy for him to do, because the Yoruba religion and Christianity are almost the same thing. I'm not talking of just the ideas, I'm talking about the rituals, the stories. They are equivalent Jesus in the Yoruba religion. When the Yoruba say Olorun, they mean a being that is higher than another being called Olua. What does this make you think? The Christian ideas of God and Jesus. And these are integral in the Yoruba religion. They have another being that will be equivalent to the Holy Spirit. And of course, one of the most prominent Yoruba historians and scholars of religion in America, Lupona, wrote a book about Ile-Ife, one of the most important centers of religion in Yoruba land. They have over 300 gods there. Think about Christianity, the Trinity, and the host of angels and spirits. And then talk about Islam. The Yoruba man becomes a Muslim. I heard that the Yorubas produced more writers in Islam than the Hausa Fulani. That's why you would find a Yoruba bishop comfortably married to a Yoruba woman who is a Muslim, and they will have peace. So it's easy for them to manage what they inherited. But the Igbos are either here or here. No room for I'm searching for the right word to use. The only way the Igbos could thrive is if they remain in their own religion. If they become Christians, they fight their own religion. If they become Muslims, they annihilate their own religion. And they cannot thrive with Christianity and Islam, because These two religions have worldviews that are contrary to the Igbo worldview. So what you find is a clash, a perpetual clash within every Igbo. Every Igbo is forever fighting himself. Every Igbo who is a Christian or a Muslim is forever fighting himself because who he is not in consonance with what how Islam views the world and how Christianity views the world. But Igbos don't know this. So what happens is that as Christians, they are telling stories that are not their stories. And because these stories are not their stories, nobody is interested in these stories they tell. They talk about kings. They don't know anything about kings. They don't know about how kingdoms operate. So people don't get a feeling that these people are saying anything authentic when the Igbos are talking about Igwe. Because what they show on films are not really what people understand kings to be. Probably in the next 2,000 years of living Omena, Igbos will become whatever they want to be. But I'm telling you that whatever they want to be, they will not be then. They will simply have disappeared. This is essentially why nobody is interested in their stories. If they begin to tell authentic Igbo stories, the whole world will want to watch. People around the world are not into reading books, but they read my books because I tell the stories of the Igbos in the books. Achebe was able to become what he became as a writer because he told an authentic story of the Igbos. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, I've read her Purple Hibiscus. She told an Igbo story in that book. I know an Igbo lady from Abia State who is as gifted as Chimamanda, but people will not buy her books because she does not tell an Igbo story there. She has tried everything possible, including scandalizing the Igbos, lying that her great-grandfather was a slave trader to make some audiences in the West to pay attention to her, but she's not going to sell any book because she doesn't tell the Igbo story. Nollywood was started by Igbos, but Igbos will not benefit from Nollywood because Igbos are not telling their own story. Kelechi Deka came to my timeline and suggested what he thinks could be a solution or what he thinks was the drawback. I told him that I recognize what he said and I prayed that Igbo intelligentsia like himself and myself should henceforth start brainstorming. When we brainstorm, we will solve the problem so that our children will not find themselves where we have found ourselves. One guy from, I think, Niger State went to Korea, found only Igbos in one city there. Most Igbos will think it's a good thing that they left lands with the talents they have, which if there is any people in the world that will have the talents that Igbos have in creation of businesses, I believe it will only be the Jewish people. Because the Igbo tradition of starting businesses is biblical. It's taken from the Bible directly. So only the Jewish people, the Samaritans, the Karaites will have that gift. Igbos will throw all these gifts away, go to Korea to push carts and trucks in the street. And a good majority of Igbos will think that this is a blessing. And unless we recalibrate, unless we rethink, this is where our children will also find themselves. Meanwhile, we have what it takes to set up a Sweden in the lands of the Igbo people in Nigeria. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening.